channel. If you've been here before, welcome, welcome. If you've not been here before, my name is Charlene Wilson, and I am very random when it comes to, as you can see, my title says, so I guess I should turn that off. Welcome to the wonderful randomness of Charlene Wilson. I want to just jump straight into this, and I want to speak about what we've been speaking about on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, I want to go to Charlene Wilson. So my name that's down the bottom down here, it's just my name, Charlene Wilson, and you will find me on Instagram. Okay? Because I do polls, I do questions, you can ask me questions, you can DM me, you can do whatever you want to do in that sense. And what we do is ask people about forgiveness, like self-forgiveness, and how be interested in the feedback that we got. Let me find it. Let me see here. So there's a difference between forgiving people, others, and forgiving yourself. And typically people find it very difficult to forgive themselves. So I asked a question, or trusting that you are forgiven. Now, the feedback from it is I had more people saying that forgiving themselves, in fact, forgiving themselves was the hardest. I had the most people doing that. This was reoccurring thoughts. The third was believing you are worthy of it. And the fourth was trusting that you are forgiven. Now, let me tell you this, so difficult. One, because we feel that we're not worthy of it. We've done something wrong, and I'm talking about serious issues. I'm talking about issues to do with abortion, rape, murder, stealing a pen. It could be anything, right? And I think that we have to be really honest and ask ourselves questions like, why am I finding it difficult to forgive? And I just need to clean. Excuse me, guys. Welcome to the wonderful wackiness of life. Looks like it's a little bit blurry. There we go. That's a lot better. Yeah, I know you're saying praise God in the sanctuary. So as I was researching and looking for information, I'll just take my notes. I think it's really important that I actually have notes for you guys. Welcome to everybody that's coming on. And I think it's important that we talk about the foundational stuff, because the foundation, and do say hello when you come in, let me know where you're from, because I always love to know where folks are hailing from. So we're going to talk about the foundational aspects of self. Please click the link in my bio and you will come right here and hang out with us while we talk about self-forgiveness. So the foundation is like, think about something that we've done wrong. The first thing that would come into play is shame, and be connected to guilt. And sometimes we mistake shame for guilt or vice versa. So shame says, I did something. Shame is the very attack on your identity. I'm a bad person, I'm wrong, and all of this negative self-talk. What then happens with that is our identity gets shaken, and we reinforce by the things that we are saying to ourselves. That's shame. Guilt says, I did something wrong, and that's a reflection of behavior. Now, oftentimes when you've done something, we will take on the identity as someone who is shameful, bad, nobody would trust me, nobody would love me, end up just really, how do I say it? We end up really kind of getting into that space in our hearts and in our minds that says that we're not worthy. Okay, and more layers, and I'm going to go through multiple layers as we speak about this, because I'm going to touch on codependency. I'm going to touch on, self-righteousness. I'm going to touch on quite a number of things. So, it's. Give me 1 second. Let my people know. So we're going to look at shame. So I spoke about shame, voice, continuously beating you up and letting you know how rubbish you are. Okay. Now, when we do stuff wrong, I'm not saying we shouldn't feel some type of guilt or remorse. How long are we actually going to camp in that place? That's the question that we need to ask ourselves. Are we going to camp there for a long time? Are we going to camp? Is that what we're going to do? Are we going to camp in that place forever? Not for that duration, but perhaps camping in that place for, I don't know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a month, 6 months, and then it looks like depression. And last week we spoke about depression being internalized anger. And that's just really important to understand. Like, it is an issue. People may try to condemn us. That's one thing. But when it's happening from the inside out, it's quite a next. So realize when it comes to unforgiveness towards people and towards ourselves is that we actually keep ourselves in a place of bondage. And that's not what we really want to do. Actions, it's not something that we want to do. We need to have self-compassion. So one of the things that I want you to do is, and what that's going to do is it's going to help you to understand how much compassion you have for yourself or not. You do have issues, it's also going to give you some exercises to help you with that as well. All right. I'm just looking at this, guys. So when it's unforgiveness, what are we actually saying to ourselves? Are we saying, I will never forgive myself? I can't believe I've done that. Am I saying I would never, ever, ever, ever trust myself again? These are all inner vows that we're taking with ourselves. And when we're taking inner vows, when we're creating these inner vows, it can cause us to create a behavior with people, the way that we interact, the way that we speak to people, we can come hailing from and all of that, because I love all of that stuff. All right, just one second. Okay, cool. So, are you making? Oh, is that okay? That's completely fine. So another thing as well that we may not think about when it comes to self-forgiveness, because we spoke about shame, we spoke about guilt, but what we haven't spoken about, false guilt, is where we think that we're supposed to take responsibility for something, but in actual fact, we're not. We're not supposed to take responsibility for that. So it may be something that is now these things come into play. That's not what we do. So we actually. The other thing that in addition to that is looking at forgiveness as a gift. Because if you really look at it on a deep level, forgiveness is a gift. If you have, a type of religion, if you're a faith-based person, you may believe that, okay, God will forgive me for my sin, for my whatever it is that I've done. Sometimes it's very difficult to conceptualize that God would actually sort out stuff. Like in the beginning, I spoke about, some people, they may have had abortions or raped somebody or murdered somebody. Like, they are worthy of forgiveness too. Does that make sense? Like, there's could happen where somebody is deserving of forgiveness, but in that we also have to figure out how we're going to forgive ourselves for it as well. Guys, interact with me. I need to see you on here. So, all right. So here's the other part as well, that this is really interesting, because for me, this was really interesting, because I remember I went through a season of great pride, okay? And I was just like, I don't need to be forgiven for anything. Like, it's fine, I'm good. Wait, what? Like, how on earth did you get to that place, my love? Like, how did you get to a place where you feel like, oh, I'm good, I don't have to do, I don't need even for anything? Like, it's definitely self-righteous behavior. And there are many, many, many people who are actually in denial of things, but they will be happy to point out everybody else's stuff and have that type of. And so, I got told last week not to say that, because Cardi B is actually trying to copyright that. So I don't get into it. So the next question that I have for you is, what are you living in a... Anyone? Have you thought about it? Y'all. Have you thought about that? because I put up here, but why are you being ghost? Why are you ghosting? Like, why are you just not in? It's okay. It's okay. Have the same problem. Is anybody else's? Hey D. Oh, this sucks. Let me see. Let me turn this down. Okay, it looks like I'm gonna have to abort the mission, folks. I don't know what to do. Jump off. And I don't know what to say. I wonder if this is actually, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I think it will just probably end. But I'm just gonna end the stream and then go to Instagram.